Welcome to another episode of his Debatable NBA edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones. Going, I just had a brain fart. Running back, Jay Uso style. Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones, here with Cole Seb, and we're talking NBA action. A lot of games on the slate for tonight. Make sure y'all tune into Peacock for their Monday night matchup. But where we're gonna start is with two of the hottest teams in the NBA. We have the Oklahoma City Thunder on a 9-game win streak right now. Only one loss on the season. Are on pace to beat that 73-9 record set by the Golden State Warriors a couple of seasons ago. And then we got the Detroit Pistons on a 12-game win streak, sitting on top of the Eastern Conference. Only two losses. They have looked great this season. Two teams that are rolling through the NBA right now, led by both of their all-star guards, Cade Cunningham and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. My question to you is, which team's impressive start has had you more glued onto the TV? Has it been the Thunder or the Pistons?
I'm gonna go with the Detroit Pistons. I don't think that you know to start the season, they'd be a playoff team and try to bank off that. But for them to start on a 12-game win streak, in this manner has been thus far very impressive. When you look at the team and just how it's built, they're just built for the moment right now. Cade Cunningham has been a star, even though he has missed games though. Jalen Duren has stepped up in that role thus far too, looking like one of the elite centers in the league as far. Having a breakout season. Um, just their core pieces too around them. Everybody knows their role. They kind of have a similar format to OKC, but not in the same way. I think that for them it's more so about just building team chemistry and just valuing just that how vital everybody plays a role within this team. And you see it on the court, they play for one another. If it's not Jalen Duren, then you got guys like Paul Reed, who definitely, found a home in Detroit, stepping up big for them sometimes. Isaiah Stewart has stepped up for them. Now you get the addition of Jaden Ivey back. Sasser hasn't been no slouch either. This team plays for one another just like OKC, though. The only difference is just that, you know, they're not coming off a championship high. They're not doing that. They're just building this formidable team chemistry. They just play. I don't know how to describe it for them. When I just watch this Detroit, it's just it gives flashbacks of just old school basketball. They play rugged defense. They get in your face. They play hard. They dive for loose balls. They're gonna they crash the glass. They're gonna attack relentlessly at the basketball, and at the same time they're gonna play modern age basketball too. They're gonna get these shots up. They're gonna put up a couple threes. They're gonna get the ball to Cade Cunningham's hand, and we'll watch him work. And it's just a flow of just a good balance. And I think that's one of the most important things for them and why they're winning. It's a good balance of just a healthy points per game, while not allowing too many points for them. And I think that for them, they pride themselves on defense. And I think that's one thing JB Bickerstaff has, anointed to in this run, on how well that they play defense, how well that they rotate, how well they're able to switch. And you got bigs that can just stay on all ball defenders, that could be on ball defenders too for them as well. And you just see it. You literally just see it when you're going against the Detroit team. It's nothing is going to be sweet. You're gonna have to work for every possession that you get on the court, and then you're gonna have to guard too because they're gonna push the tempo. They're gonna push the tempo too as well. They're gonna play in the half court set and they're gonna play in the full court set too. And so shout out to just everybody on this team too. Guys, I'd even mentioned Tobias Harris coming back for them. Somebody that was a big role for them last season too as well. Ron Hollins playing a little bit even better too. Year two Ron Hollins has definitely been a menace defensively and just more comfortable in this game. I believe the Duran Jenkins kid, the rookie, somebody who could space the floor for them too. One of their better shooters on the court too. I didn't even give him enough praise to as well. Has stepped into a role to where coaches trust me with these minutes. When I go out there, I'm gonna probably, even if I'm not hitting shots, I'm gonna play defense at a high rate. I'm gonna, box out at a high rate. Just a little stuff that keeps you on the floor too, doesn't go unnoticed. And I think JB Bickerstaff hasn't been afraid to use that rookie kid, the Jenkins kid, in that way too, to where you might not have it going on this night offensively though, but we trust you with doing everything else and the little stuff that you will see these 15 minutes a game too, and that's going to be pivotal for for that kid to just learn how to get into the flow of an NBA game too. So whether he's hitting shots or missing shots, I think that Biggerstaff has trusted him thus far. I believe it's the same treatment Ron Holland got too. Ron Holland wasn't really a scorer last season. He didn't really, do anything that wowed you in the box scores though. But just his presence on the court defensively, switching, helping out on rotations, really showed you that you don't have to have the best game offensively to be a main factor on this court. You just got to have a presence to where you change the game defensively. You change the game doing the little stuff that matters, diving for loose balls, setting a tough screen, rolling to the basket, getting shooters open on the pin downs, and that's what this defense, that's what this Detroit team prides himself on, though. So to end it short, well, not to end it short, just to end it, I'm gonna say I just been way more impressed with the Detroit basketball.
Yeah, shout out to Detroit. This was one of the teams I was looking at entering this season, to make the next leap and definitely be a contender in the Eastern Conference. One, just due to how they play the game of basketball and led by Cade Cunningham, just a triple double threat, bringing that life back to Detroit. He's been great. And secondly, the East just being so weak. So shout out to them for getting the job done, even with a roster to where no one probably thought they would have been the number one seed. But all them just playing off of Cade Cunningham, you already brought up all those players over there, Jalen Duran, and just everybody else. I'm proud of them. But just to play devil's advocate, I'll talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've just been on a roll. Once again, only one loss this season. I've been very impressed with what they've been able to do. I said at the beginning of the season this was going to be a scary team due to the fact that they can get better. We already seen them last season to where I still feel like they was still learning how to win because the season before that when they lost to the Dallas Mavericks in the second round, Luca and Kyrie Irving just pretty much having their way with this team. I think they took that personal, came into the next season, ran through a lot of teams. Everyone invested into their role, and they was able to win it all. Even though the Pacers on the other side was deflated, losing their all-star point guard for that game seven. You still got to play who's in front of you. They end up winning it all. Lose Jalen Williams in the off season. And come into this season and just haven't missed a step and have just looked amazing. Chet Holmgren, I've loved the offensive lead that he's taken. He's been a lot more aggressive, seeing that he's going to have to play that role due to the subtraction of Jalen Williams, but it's not just him. Shout out to the Carusos of the world, the Hartensteins, the Wallaces. They also have had another breakout star. Well, I don't want to say star, but breakout player with AJ Mitchell. Him being a lefty and just being able to control the pace and knock down 3-point shots, being able to get to the basket. It's just been a very welcoming sight for them. um, Once again, everyone just being a star within their role. They love to play very hard defensively, just like the Detroit Pistons, and definitely push the pace. I definitely seen my Lakers, the second best team in the West, struggle with them to where Luka just didn't have the best game. Austin Reeves didn't have the best game. So what they're able to do on that end has been very, very impressive. Also Dort, him being that 3 and D guy, grit and grind, just able to really get into these defenders' bodies and just make it very, very hard for them. Shea Gilgeous Alexander hasn't even played. I think missed about 9 of the 14 fourth quarters thus far, and him still being able to average what he's averaging. It's just amazing. He's definitely a basketball savant. Just knows how much score my points, whether it's getting to the basket, whether it's knocking down a 3-point shot, something that he's developed and got better at, or just manipulating the mid range. He has looked amazing. I think he's the best scorer we've probably seen since James Harden went on his run. Just the way he's able to, I don't want to say monopolize the game, but just make it as easy as possible for him to where we're watching it as fans and thinking like, wow, this is just amazing to watch. So the Thunder have been great. The Pistons have been great. They're both at top of their conferences. Just real quick though, if they were to meet in the finals, how you feel right now? Who do you think just will win?
I'm gonna go to Oklahoma City Thunder, man. I think if the Oklahoma City Thunder just gets back to the finals, it's just wrap for any team. They're trying to build a dynasty there. There's a lot of good that comes from this Thunder organization, though. Because regardless, even if they do lose and if they lose in the playoff, they still win. They're gonna win because you know why?
The
They have
Clippers.
draft picks. The Clippers right now are the only team right now that's for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're oh my gosh though, it's so lethal, bro. Now imagine if they land a lottery pick once again, bro. And they're gonna draft correctly, bro. They're gonna draft correctly. Sam Presti don't really bait up on draft picks though. Feel me? Like he knows how to draft, bro. Like I can't even name you too much times that he's been wrong when he's been in the lottery. And that's a credit to the Oklahoma City organization too, and just what they're able to do with their scouting team and just finding out, who fits and who doesn't too. And even for a guy like Josh Giddey, who they drafted though, they sort of did draft wrong though, because they traded him and he did his own thing. He just didn't fit the mold of their team though. But he's still a hell of a player too, and he's showing that this season. So that's kind of crazy too. So even if they lose, they still win though. But in all seriousness though, they're gonna try their best to just, annihilate every team though. And I think, like you said earlier, to the point that you made, how they're on pace to break the Warriors regular season record. This is all without J-Dub, their second best player. That just goes to show you how hell of a team this is. And mind you, like you said again, Shea Gilgeous hasn't played in like 11 fourth quarters. 11 out of like 17 fourth quarters, bro. He has not played in 11 fourth quarters and still averages around 30. Like, where's the media hype for this? We're like, are we not like, is this not like no, is this not like greatness that we're not witnessing, bro? Like, it's not like, is it because it's in Oklahoma City that this is not like, feel me? I understand like the Warriors hype there was in the Bay Area, the crowd was rocking, the colors might look a little bit nicer. Stephen Curry was just monopolizing the game, was just how he was able to transcend it when he was pulling up from fucking 30 feet, fucking from half court. Damn near in the first two dribbles he took past half
Well,
court.
I think, well, to your point, I think the thing with Steph was something we never really seen before. And not saying that we've seen players just do what Shea is doing, but that's why I brought up the point. James Harden kind of did this to where his scoring was just amazing. And it was just like, what the hell? So I feel like we kind of seen something like this with Stephen Curry. We've never seen someone literally pulling up from the logo to where three defenders are literally guarding him at once. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think right now people are just even the media is taking what we've seen from this Oklahoma City team for granted. And I'm gonna be the first to say what Shea's doing right now is legendary, brother. You averaging 30, 31 or 32 and not having to pay the fourth quarter because that's how bad y'all beating these teams, man. These games are over in 3 quarters, gang. Like my starters don't gotta touch. My starters are well rested by the fourth quarter. They're sitting back, they watching, a bunch of rookies and shit. They throwing in the towels. They like this. They chilling on the sideline, bro. That is crazy, bro. Ah, man, this Oklahoma City team though. Who's gonna stop them, man? And when J Dub gets back, it's just like by all means too. And I'm gonna ask you this though: do you think they would make a move at the trade deadline?
No.
They don't even got to make a motherfucking move at the trade motherfucking deadline, man. Come on now, man. All I'm saying is those in the media that's saying, all he does is this foul bait. He's just a foul baiter, man. Really watch the game and really watch how polished Shea Gills' game is too. He's not your average, just scorer. He doesn't take as much threes. He gets to the basket, but he's going at the basket relentlessly. He might do a little head nod though, but that's today's NBA. That's today's basketball though. You know how much players I see do a little head nod and shit like that. I'm not gonna put that past him though. But look at his mid range game too, and some kids could actually learn from like people can actually learn from it in the mid range game too, because his shit is polished, bro. Like his mid range game is polished. Like he gets to the basket. He plays ethical basketball, in my opinion, too. So nobody can make me feel any different about it. I'm saying this Oklahoma City team. This is a special team right now, though. I feel like this is one of the teams that's gonna go down in them history books as a 75 or 76 win team. They're on pace to do it right now if they can stay healthy, especially blowing out these teams within 3 quarters. Then they have a really chance to make some serious noise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So shout out to the Thunder, shout out to the Pistons. I'm interested to see how they continue to progress as you move more and more into the season. But we have another team who's also on a win streak. I believe they have 7 games right now. The Toronto Raptors. What do you think of them right now?
Um, Starting off the season, I said they was going to be sneaky, and I didn't think they was going to build chemistry that quick. I like what I seen this far. I
Well,
don't
you
know.
also said Washington was going to be decent.
Yeah, but sometimes it's hit or miss. I can't be right on everything. You feel me? I gotta be wrong on a couple of shits though. Washington was, if you put stock into Washington, you lost your money. But you can always double down and put some
You
more
was
stock.
telling the people to put stock in Watch to apologize to them. You was the one talking about them.
All right, listen, my Washington stock didn't go accordingly, but I did tell you to put some stock into the Blazers and Raptors too as well. If you look back at those old preseason videos over the summer, I did say those are the two
No,
teams.
but the Blazers have kind of fallen off. They're under 500, so the stock ain't that high. The only high stock is on the Raptors right now.
Okay, feel me? That's the stock market, man. Sometimes you can go to the moon. Sometimes you could plummet. Sometimes you could stay stagnant. And right now,
What's wrong with you?
I couldn't remember the last time the Wizards won a game. I know this is not about the Wizards, but oh my
Nah, I didn't
god,
even know
bro.
they really lost 14 straight. They just been so under the
Yeah,
radar. It's just I didn't know what the hell was going on over there.
bro. At a point, niggas just like, yo, we're just gonna stop talking about the Wizards in general, bro. We were like, feel me? It's the same shit, just a different year, bro. Different jersey,
Damn.
same fan base.
They tried to bring in the vets, though, man. They tried. Shout out to
You
Chris
tried, son,
Middleton.
bro. It just
Shout
didn't
out to
work, bro.
CJ McCollum.
Yeah, but on the Raptor side of things, though, I just think they're equipped with talent. When I'm looking at guys like Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barry, who they got off the trade, I believe, 2 years ago. They came into their own quickly, stepping up into that point guard spot, really just learning how to play a little bit of more point guard rather than just playing like a scoring point guard type of role. Really getting more others involved. RJ Barrett, somebody who's been working on their game. Their outside shooting has gotten better too. I'm looking at guys like Scotty Barnes, who is the focal point of this team. I feel like he's just the facilitator for this team. I think that what he brings offensively and defensively is very important for this team. Somebody that could just really just get others involved. Somebody that could attack the basket relentlessly. Somebody that pushes the pace too as well. He's their motor for this team too. I feel like he definitely is an X factor for them. But the guy that's really just the star of the team, the superstar of the team, has been Brandon Ingram. Somebody who you could call
Glorilla. My fault.
somebody who you could call upon when you need a bucket, somebody that's an ISO machine, somebody that whether it's in a post, whether it's in a midi, however you want it, man, he's cooking up. And is it a test of him just finding a dime in Glorilla? Where he got that hoopers effect to where my shorty sitting courtside. Let me go off and get this quick 25 real quick. Walk somebody down tween midi. I don't know what it is though, but he's cooking with hot grease. And Brandon Ingram is just reminding people, yeah, I was like that. Maybe in New Orleans, I had a little flash here and there, just being a one-time all-star though. But I could hoop. And I think he's just reminding people that, yeah, I could hoop, feel me? I may be injured here and there, but I could hoop. Feel me? I could get you go out and get you 20. I could get you 25. I could get you 30. It don't matter. I could do that. And they're just building chemistry. They picked up the center in Mamu. I believe I don't know how to pronounce his whole name. No disrespect, brother, but feel me, shit gets tricky sometimes. But yeah, somebody who's their five that could space out the floor. You could put him in a lot of pick and pop situation. He's definitely a good pick and roller too as well. Crashes glass hard as well. And then just the other guys, the Abajis of the world, I believe the Jamal Sheed. I might be butchering people's name though, but based on what I've seen though, when he comes in, he gets valuable minutes too as well. And as their coach, European style coach, from what I hear in his accent though, is not really a bullshitter. Somebody that plays that coaches with heart. Even in remember that first game of the season, I see where he came through. He came through hype in the locker room, said, "Let's go, let's." You need that type of shit. Feel me? A coach like that is always going to be somebody that's valuable in my books too, because he's not just feel me coaching just to coach. He's coaching because he wants to win. He wants the players to feel involved, even if they're sitting on the bench or if they're on the court. He wants everybody to feel involved from the top of the organization to the bottom of the organization too, and that's shown up there. So a credit to the Raptors right now. Sitting second in the East. I want to see how well this continues. But for the most part, though, this is a team that's just playing for one another. Some way, somehow, they managed to make just this chemistry work. You had like a three ball dominant type of players though, but you got to sacrifice for the greater good of winning, and you see it in just how they play. They play for one another. There's no hidden agendas. Everybody's comfortable with their numbers. I believe four or five players average double digits too. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how well they continue the season.
Yeah, once again, the East is wide open. The Raptors, I feel like gonna make the playoffs, and they're gonna be a tough out because I feel they have 2 to 3 scorers that can get a bucket at any time. Already brought up the Brandon Ingram of the world. Shout out to him. He's come to this team and has been a gem. Shout out to the front office for making a lot of these moves that has just worked out. They got Brandon Ingram through trade, correct?
Yeah, they got to make a
Right.
trade deadline.
Right. So shout out to them for getting him and giving the Pelicans who are just NBA purgatory, whatever they gave them. I don't even know. Like, what did the Pelicans get for Brandon Ingram?
Uh, Bag of
Like
chips
what?
and socks.
Like what did they get from the Pelicans for Brandon Ingram? Like we're gonna have to fact check that because I don't even know. But shout out to Brandon Ingram. Then you got R.J. Barrett, who they also got from the Knicks, who has looked a lot better than he did in New York. Why? I have no idea why.
Bruce
I,
Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and a first round pick and a second round pick.
can I be an NBA GM then? So we gave up Brandon Ingram for who?
Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown, first round pick and a second round pick.
I've seen coaches fired for less. When are we gonna start getting into the trend of letting these GMs go? Because that don't even make any fucking sense. Kelly Olynyk, who's a decent role player, do not get me wrong. Bruce Brown, another good role player, do not get me wrong. And 2 picks. So you gave up 2 picks and 2 role players for an all-star caliber player in Brandon Ingram.
Mind you, neither of them are on
Jesus
the team.
Christ.
Neither of them are on the team anymore. Mind you that. Kelly Olynyk is
Yeah.
with the Spurs. Bruce Brown's back with the fucking Nuggets. What the fuck? What
Like
the
I
fuck?
just don't. I really just thought about it, and until you just said those names, I don't even know who was in that trade, but they got fleeced. And once again, the Knicks, R.J. Barrett quickly was working for the Knicks, but R.J. Barrett not really. So now he's here in Toronto, his hometown. He gets to eat his mom home cooking more than not. He's playing well. Scotty Barnes. I want to see more from Scotty Barnes. And I know now there's a lot of offensive weapons, so his numbers are going to be down. Cool, cut, granted. I get it. But I still want to see it a little bit more. I love what he does defensively, but offensively, I still feel you can just do a little bit more. Sometimes his game looks a little funky. I've seen all the jokes about him, people saying, he acts a little CTE-ish at times. But he has the body type to where he can be effective on both ends of the floor. I want to continue to see what can he do. This will be interesting to see if does this team make a trade at the deadline. I would love a guard. You brought up Emmanuel quickly. I just don't feel he's a point guard. Think he just is small and likes to score the ball, so you kind of put him in that PG SG type range, but he's not a floor general. Um, I would have loved if they could get someone that can give easier looks for all three of them, along with the Jakopotos of the world. I love what he does defensively. So if you can get that guard, we brought up well not this episode, but throughout the season, and shout out to him because this will be his last season. Chris Paul, just round of applause for just a great NBA career. This will be the last time that we see him. This Clippers experiment did not work. I don't even know what the hell happened. There's just so many teams this season to where it's like, what the hell is going on? But that'll be an episode for another day. Chris Paul in Toronto, even though it's not gonna happen, a floor general that could just give easier looks for anyone, I think that would be a great fit. But I think they just need somebody. I think of names like D'Angelo Russell, who yes, I'm not the biggest D'Angelo Russell fan based off what he did to the Lakers. If any person did anything wrong to LeBron's run on the Lakers, I don't fuck with you. Yeah. So I'm on that bullshit. So the D'Angelo Russells of the world, Severinos, I'm gonna say the Russell Westbrooks of the world. I'm just not fucking with you. Maybe once LeBron retires, then maybe I could start being a fan again. But until then, it ain't gonna happen. But maybe him in Toronto, a young guard
Oh,
that can go out
D'Lo?
there. I'll say it again.
You saying D'Lo in Toronto?
Why not?
Nah, he's trash. I'm
So
sorry.
wait. You're saying D'Lo is trash?
D'Lo is washed, bro.
He's washed. Can you pull up his age, please?
I'm sorry. I've watched D'Angelo Russell play basketball. Like, uh, 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 I'm just sorry. Let's see how old is this brother. This brother D'Angelo Russell is 29 years old.
Wow. So now let me ask you a question, and I already know what Seb's gonna say. Like something's wrong with him right now.
Yes. Before you even say who and who. Yes. 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 I'm taking Russ over D'Lo.
Right now, you're taking Russell Westbrook over D'Angelo
Oh
Russell.
my mama, I'm taking Russell Westbrook over D'Angelo
Okay.
Russell.
Okay. Listen, I got the Drewski. Listen, I don't got too much to say. Neither is leading to winning. So I was so to this day, apples and fucking oranges. But I guess if you want stats, then I guess take Westbrook. But either way, all jokes aside, I just think Toronto needs a guard that could just give them easier looks. But I'll say this because once again, the East is wide open. Toronto can go to the finals.
It's not that far fetched.
Because I just there's not a team in the East I don't feel that's like you have to
Dominant.
go through them. Sort of like when Boston, before they had injuries, it was like you gotta go through Boston. It's like damn, you're right. Yeah, you gotta go through right. Or back when you had the Miami Heat, back in the day with LeBron, you're gonna have to go through the Heat, right? Back when the early 2000s and the Pistons, it was like yeah, you're gonna have to go to Detroit. There's not a team in the East for even the Knicks, and you would have to admit it. They look okay,
Yeah, they're not
but it ain't.
nobody's a real threat in my opinion for one another too. This year is like the Royal Rumble, bro.
Yeah, like I just what you get a playoff ticket. You get a playoff ticket. Does anybody if you get the right matchups? It seems like
Literally, bro.
I
It's
don't
literally feel me. It gets to a point now where I say if Philly can stay healthy, Philly can do something. And I feel like a broken record because I feel like I just every time I say that something just goes wrong though. But I've wholeheartedly believe that Philly could do something this year, bro. And if
listen.
it
But
comes
now
back
they
and
have
bite me, bro, I don't care this year. I really don't care. I kind of like what I see from Philly, bro.
well, I spoke about Philly earlier in the season. They have fell off a little bit, um, just due to the season sort of making form. Now you're seeing teams who started off hot dwindle off and teams that may have started off slow start to pick it up. But the East is wide open. I think Orlando could make a run. I think Detroit could make a run. The Knicks could make a run. Toronto could make a run. That's four teams right there. I think
Quick
depending
question.
on what happens with Trey Young when he comes back for
Yeah, I
Atlanta,
was just about
and
to ask you that.
Atlanta could make a run because Jalen Johnson has just looked amazing. I didn't know he was such a good passer as he's shown. That's the part of his game to me that has definitely taken the next step. But all these teams, even Chicago, if they just get the right matchups, shit, like just so Toronto keep winning, but definitely evaluate. I think all these East teams are gonna look at their rosters before going into the trade deadline and say like that Spider-Man meme, like, is it gonna be you or is it gonna be you, nigga? Like, I don't really know. But shout out to Toronto because They have been a little mediocre since Kawhi has left, but they seem to have figured things out. Now we have to talk about a team that seems like every season, no, like every single season, just can't figure it out. And that's the Charlotte Hornets. Now, shout out to Con Knuckle, Captain Knuckles, as I like to call him. He has been great. I'll give you credit on that, said, because that is a name that you said that is gonna make a name for himself with this rookie class. So shout out to you for that. But besides him, all the rest of them don't look good to me. Now, Brandon Miller has been dealing with injury, so he just came back the other night. I do like Brandon Miller, but Miles Bridges, I'm done with Miles Bridges. Move on. I can't even name a lot of people on their motherfucker. We got Grant Williams over there for right. Is he on the damn team? I don't
But I
know
don't
who on
think that nigga
Charlotte,
played a
man.
game.
Huh?
I don't think he played a game.
He didn't. Well, I can't really name too many people on this motherfucking roster right now. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck are they doing. Lamelo Ball, I like Lamelo Ball, the talent. I don't know. Is it- he reminds me of the modern day Stephon Marbury.
That's a little extreme, but okay.
No, not because nothing off the court. I'm just saying he's flashy and he could do things, but if you trying to win, you taking Lamelo Ball.
No.
It's just like he's 6'5", 6'6", whatever the hell he is. He can handle the ball. He can't shoot three, but he does not produce winning. And it's time to say that. We've been talking about this for the last couple of seasons on this show, and he not letting him off the hook. So now he's talking about he's open to a trade. Where are you going?
He has value.
I didn't say he didn't have value. I said, where is he going?
You gotta go somewhere. There just has to be a disconnect between this team and just feel me because the winning has to be a priority. You don't get paid if you don't win. You don't get paid, and I think to a certain
No,
extent.
he got paid. So
I mean, yeah, but I feel like Charlotte is just, he sells out the crowds. He's still box office. The kids love him. The shoes. They going there to see Lamelo play and shit like that. Though, yeah, you got to see. You know what I'm saying? So, feel me? They ain't no dummies now. Feel me? It's still about putting fans in the seats, 100%. But I just think with them, it's never resulted in a winning. And the only time was when they actually had a decent core and they just got punched in the plane.
when what core?
Him, it was Lamelo, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges, and Mason Plumlee.
Cut the show.
Bro,
Like,
they
no.
made it. They made it to the plane. They just got spanked. They
God,
couldn't finish.
God willing. Like, yeah, but no, that ain't no fucking core, nigga. They got fucking lucky. Could they do it ever again?
Let me see how much playoffs playing
Oh my
appearances
god,
they had.
damn
They
core.
had two play. Yeah, they had two playing appearances and they got punched both.
So you're telling me because the NBA expanded teams to try to get in, now they had a core? No, nigga. They
It's better
they
than
expanded
nothing.
how many teams get a shot. Like, get the fuck out of
Listen,
here.
it's better than nothing, brother. It's
Terry
better than.
Rozier? Is it no, let me chill before I start going crazy.
Nah,
But
go,
come
no,
on,
no,
man.
no, no, no. Go ahead, brother. The people need to hear this. They need to hear
No,
what's going on in
I'm
that
just
Hornets
saying,
organization.
Terry
No,
Rozier
they need to hear.
is not an NBA name that's very talked about right now. Due to him having CTE and a gambling addiction.
Go ahead, brother. Tell her how it is, man. Tell her how it is. I thought we was
How
gonna
you
hold
got
back.
millions of dollars and what you want to get your homies rich? I'm not mad about trying to support your friends that you came up with, but that don't mean risk your own career, nigga. Like that don't make any sense. You could still put your people you fuck with in position to succeed, nigga. Nigga, start a podcast on the side, and you could have had them niggas host it. Look what look what Jeff Teague did. He brought his brother on. Them two other dudes, his mans. Yeah, they making money. Not betting your own unders, nigga. Cause now you're throwing your whole team under the bus. And no, just like Terry Rozier is a good basketball player. Right, small guard can handle, get to the basket, knock down the three. But it's like all this for what? How are you gaining off this experiment? How? Was you making more money than your actual contracts, nigga? Let's really be real.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Come on, man. Like, come on, man. Like, let's
But
stop
it
it.
goes to a point. These are the type of players that they brought in Charlotte, and they gave Gordon Hayward a fucking how much money they gave Gordon Hayward?
Yeah, they gave him over $100,000. Yeah, yeah. Whoop de doo with Gordon Hayward. His problem though was injury, so I can't. But then it's like you, wouldn't your medical staff have told you? I don't think
No,
that's.
they did not. I'm pretty sure they was fully aware of that before they signed him. They were fully aware of that.
Then I don't really know what to say. But we actually got to ask the actual question: should they trade Lamelo Ball?
Yes, I think right now you just got to move on from the mellow ball experience and see how much acquisitions you could get to kind of make this team have a different look. If it's not him, then I say Miles Bridges is another person that has to go. I think you have to start fresh. And it just hasn't worked out for them. I think those are players that if you put them in a different organization, they could produce something else. But for the most part, though, you haven't seen nothing throughout these years that gives you hope that this is a team that's going to be reckoned with. Brandon Miller is still relatively young. Con Knipple is somebody that you banked on him. He's averaging 20 points out of his last
Those
10
are the
games.
only, not to cut you off. Those are the only two I'm keeping: Brandon Miller and Con Knipple,
Yeah,
Captain Knuckles. Captain Knuckles. Everyone else could go.
yeah, you start fresh, bro. You literally start fresh, though. I think that Lamelo Ball has, the talent to where if you put him in a trade and teams are going to offer their best players or offer a good trade packages just for him to just off the strength of just the hype and just the potential that's still there. Still relatively young though. I just think that Charlotte is just not a designated place for winning, and Melo doesn't make their situation any better to a star player in his role, like somebody that's flashy, somebody that plays entertaining basketball. But at the same time though, you need a team. He needs a team to where he could do all that flashiness, but you gotta remember the main objective is to win these games, is to still be playing in April, May, and June. So I think it should just be a trade away with two teams. I think in this case scenario, I think if you could find a way to get him maybe into a Cleveland situation, maybe get him in a place to where he could do his thing. Maybe Detroit next to Cade. I don't know how well that would work. If you get over the gym, like I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm just throwing out hints and ideas, though. Just don't mind me though. But I just think that it's time he go elsewhere and really just learn how to be a winner.
If somehow you could do a deal to get him in Milwaukee, Giannis needs some help. Then that, but I'm not seeing no other team. Miami, like, but I like Miami or Milwaukee. Not a team that already got a guard like him and Cade. Nah, because he don't play no damn defense.
True.
So I'm looking for Milwaukee that could use another all-star player like that. I'm pretty sure Giannis will talk to him and say you got to get your fucking mind together. But or Miami that just due to Pat Riley being up top, they don't play around with these players. Besides those two destinations right now, I can't think of anywhere else. But shout out to Charlotte. Hopefully they figured out. We just got one more thing, one more topic we have to attack, and that's the Phoenix Suns, who started off slow and now have picked it up. They've shout out Dylan Brooks,
The culture.
a culture setter. Like we seen what he did in Memphis, we seen what he did in Houston, and now in Phoenix. It can't just be it's everyone else. Nah, we got to give Dylan Brooks credit. I don't know what he does in the locker room. Maybe it's his tenacity when he's on the court on that defensive end. But whatever team he's been going to these past 3 to 5 seasons, they have had a great culture and a great vibe. Devin Booker's doing his thing. Jalen Green came back for that one game and I think it was against the Clippers and he knocked them out. So hopefully he can get healthy. But that's a team right now that's playing freely. And we're also gonna say this. Cause y'all like to do this with LeBron James. Kevin Durant was there and it was a fucking disaster. He's gone now and now they look like they're having fun. So is no one gonna mention that? Cause if that was LeBron, then it would have been like, you see LeBron comes and now everyone don't know how to play. So not saying about Kevin Durant.
Yeah, overrated.
But and I'm not saying Kevin Durant kills a team, but I'm saying let's not move the goalposts for when this person does it and then this person does it. But either way, shout out to KD because he is doing good in Houston. But Phoenix, why do you feel they're finding success right now? Like, what do you think it is?
Uh, I think it's for a numerous amount of reasons. I think one, less media attention around them now that the KD, the Bill thing is not there, so there's no real expectation for them to make any serious noise too. So they're just playing what they're playing with house money. Number two is that they play for one another. This is not just a team to where it's just the Devin Booker show or the Kevin Durant show or the Bradley Beal show. This is a team now. So everybody has their designated roles. Everybody knows what they do on the court specifically. Whether it's Grayson Allen knocking down 9 3 pointers one game, whether it's Dylan Brooks being a fucking menace on defense and being relentless on the other end offensively and this shot hunting. Whether it's Devin Booker, some nights you want it to be the scoring D book that we all know and love. Other nights he could go back to being the point guard D book to where he getting others involved. Colin Gillespie, somebody that just finding his way into the league, finding himself as a player, has stepped up into just being an important factor for this team as well. Mark Williams, somebody who just came from a losing situation in the Hornets organization to actually playing meaningful basketball now. He's taking that approach and just saying, all right, I know this team trusts me in just getting up, certain rebounds, crashing them goal boards, sending hard screens, all types of shit. There's a couple players I'm probably missing. Jalen Green, to your point, when he gets back, somebody who lit up the Clippers and then this win Ghost. He's been doing this thing. This is a team right now. They play hard, and I seen it even in that game against the Minnesota Timberwolves where they were fake a little down and out too, and they didn't stop. They don't stop. They play hard. Ryan Dunn is another player that who just taking another leap year two. Ryan Dunn has been their 3-and-D presence too as well. They have designated roles for their players, and it's just showing that all right, once you really have a team and not just a bunch of named players like a KD or Bradley Beal. I'm gonna keep referring to that though because that's the difference. Now you have three players that on paper shouldn't be enough to get it done, rather than having a team where players know their role, where there's no hidden agendas, where they're just trying to go out there and play hard for the team and not for numbers and shit like that. It works out better. And you've seen it. Slower start because it's getting used to just how can we, make this a work, but they're getting it rolling. And I even mentioned guys like Royce O'Neal, glue guys too. You have valuable glue guys, and I think that goes a long way.
No, you definitely hit it right on the nose. The team, everybody knows their role. There is less expectation, but I think in today's NBA, I think that works a lot better just for a lot of these players. I'm not saying these players is soft. If people want to say that, y'all can, but it's just like unless you're that dude, and I guess you're in the right situation, this media pressure gets to a lot of these young dudes and just in the new generation that they're in, I don't think a lot of people are receptive to that. That even comes with coaching now. I think that old school approach of coaching that also just doesn't work in today's NBA. Today's NBA, we seen Tom Thibodeau just get booted out the door right after taking the team to the Eastern Conference Finals. But it's like I just feel his approach just really wasn't working. All right, so we're in a new NBA. I said that at the beginning of the season. I feel like we're officially in the new era, and things are just different. You really have to build these teams now. The big three era is dead, like in the grave. Also, putting all these vets together. The last team to just do it was the Clippers. Does not work. You will not see another team do what the Clippers just did this offseason. It's not gonna work. I'll be shocked if after this season the Clippers didn't blow it up. Whether y'all make the playoffs or not, because it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Now, shout out to James Harden. Had a 55-point game the other day. Whoop de fucking do. But He's not gonna average that for the season. He still got something in the tank. These vets still got something left in the tank, but not for him and another vet to be the two focal point options on a team and just get through the regular season and get through the playoffs and do. That's not gonna work. The Lakers realized we have to get a young dude. So it's either gonna be LeBron gone or Anthony Davis gone. And they said Davis, nigga, deuces. They got Luca, bro. Right? These young teams are taking over. Look at the Denver Nuggets led by Jokic. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder that that we spoke about, right? You got the Lakers with Luca, right? You got KD in Houston, but he's surrounded by young dudes, right? You have the Pistons out east, right? Young team. That's what's gonna win in today's NBA. You're gonna need young dudes who can run and defend. Also, still knocked in that 3 point shot, very important in today's game. But you're gonna need a younger roster because the Thunder just proved you don't. You're still gonna need some type of experience to win in the playoffs, right? But if you got the right roster and you built the right team, you're going to have the best chance. It's not now just trying to get one of these stars who won in the early 2000s and mid 2010s and think because we got him now we're about to win it all. You have to put them in the right situation. So Phoenix, they have their dude in Devin Booker, but they filled out the rest of their roster to great glue guys, right? The Grayson Allens of the world. You brought up everyone else, and they're finding ways to win. So I'm happy for Devin Booker. Phoenix has some type of now direction to go towards. I'm interested to what they do at the deadline, but once again, welcome to the new NBA. But that's gonna do it for this episode of It's Debatable NBA edition. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable Double underscore. Follow me at Justin Jones on Facebook for details and developments. Once again, and got something special towards the end of the year for our WWE fans. I'm working behind the scenes to put together a very special episode for y'all. Sort of an award type show just based off the year we just had in WWE. So be on the lookout for that. We just did a special little joint last week. We went back to the old studio that you used to see us in. Definitely look out for those episodes on YouTube. That's going to do it, man. Jersey.
Yeah.